Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Hi, Shakti. Hi, Jenna. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Please let me know if you're here. My name's Rebecca Lee. Hey, dolls. Shirley from Tassie. How you going? Beautiful to have you here tonight. My name is Rebecca Lee, and I'm here to do some readings tonight. Some Unlock Your Love Blocks readings. So these are my Unlock Your Love Blocks cards. Many of you who know me will know I have Unlock Your Love Blocks cards. So anything that's blocking you in your relationship or finding love or even just to loving yourself. So these cards can give you some guidance tonight, and anything intuitive I feel I'll let you know. Again, this week I've got Jackie Newcomb's messages from heaven. So just thinking about someone, a loved one in spirit, and we'll just focus that energy on the card and see what comes through. And anything intuitive I feel from past over loved ones, happy to relay that to you tonight. So just let me know if you want to unlock your love blocks about relationship, finding love, or self-love, or if you'd like a message from spirit. So and who that person might be. Okay, so yeah, just let me know that you're here, and I'm just going to crack on. Actually, just before I do, I just want to say a little bit about the energies. This last week, for those of you that were on the show last week, I was saying a lot around keeping our energy clean and clear. There's a lot of heavy energies, and I think even more so from last week, people are just, in the collective, it might not be for you specifically, but people are feeling really kind of like contracted and constrained. And I know for my beloveds in Melbourne, particularly in their lockdown and just everything that's happening in the world, like it just yeah, it's just starting to get a little bit too much for people. I know in the last week in the different groups that I facilitate or I'm involved in, some people are hitting the piss a little bit more and things ain't turning out really well there. So some people are feeling like to drink to try and feel the pressure off. A lot of people are feeling like they need to go, like there's this sense, and I actually had felt this myself this week, that just feel so constrained and just want to expand. And a lot of people are feeling like they need to pass on, like they want to pass over, and they just want to be free. So if that sort of resonates with you, like I've been saying this week, I really just truly believe that this is old parts of ourselves dying. These lower vibrations, 3D type selves dying, and we're going through this transition, and we want to bring through this higher vibrating part of ourselves. And this is why I brought through Unlock Your Love Blocks over 10 years ago, because Spirit told me that we need to do this work. We need to release these different blocks out of our energy systems, out of our chakras. And basically what that means is, as we release these old energies, and that's not just from this lifetime, it's past lifetimes, it's ancestrals. As we release this energy, our spirit, more of our higher self, wants to come through in form here. So we just sort of want to expand, and we want to move into this higher vibrating life. So if it feels like you're done and you just, you want to get out of here, just know that I'm not saying that this is not for everybody. Some people generally have a lot going on, and they do generally want to, leave. But I know for a lot of people, it's this feeling of just needing to energetically expand. So it's really important right now, if you are feeling frustrated or constricted or concerned, to really stay off alcohol. And as I said last week, it's really important. Salt air, and I'm getting it again tonight. Salt air, salt water, like whether that's in the ocean or in a salt bath, that will really help continue to do this, to keep clearing the energy and really focusing on light in your heart and just protecting yourself energetically, and just feeling whether that's God or spirit or whatever you connect to in your heart, to just really protect yourself and keep yourself high vibrating as much as you can. So that's all I want to say on that. I hope that helps. Just a little bit of insight into what's happening this week. So I'm going to get into the readings. And for those of you who haven't been on my show before, my name's Rebecca Lee. You can follow me on my Facebook page, which is Rebecca Dashley, Awaken the Spirit Within. And you can visit my website, rebeccalee.com. Okay, so yes, I just sort of pull randomly to wherever I'm drawn. So like I said, I don't really sort of see names until I stop. So it's just an energy thing. So I just trust where I'm sort of pulled to. So as I said before, if you're just joining, unlock your love blocks card, blocks to self-love, blocks to finding love, blocks in relationship, or messages from spirit. Okay, so I'm just going to use these cards, trusting that whoever it is that you're thinking about in spirit, that the energy of these cards will bring a message through for you. So hopefully it will resonate. So please just kind of let me know in the messages if it's a unlock your love blocks card for self-love, relationship, finding love, and or a message from spirit. Alrighty. So would love a unlock your love blocks card. I just lost her. Where is she? The messages move so fast. I think it was Shirley. Let me just go. I want to find you. Shirley, can you just type your message again? I think there was Shirley who said that she wanted a card about her partner. Shirley, if you're there, can you just type your message again, please? Would love any message from my mum or fiance, please. Okay, Shirley, I got you. Got you. So let's just see what the energy comes in here, Shirley. I'm just going to pull a message from Spirit card, and let's just trust that whatever card comes out is the energy that connects with them and is their message for you. And it's already jumped into my hand. So Shirley, the message that has come through for you tonight says, make room for that happy ending. It's now within your grasp. Really beautiful card, darling. I just feel like you've been through a lot, okay? And I just feel like sometimes the things might seem hopeless for you, or that you're never going to get there, or if things feel like a constant uphill battle. And I can just feel an enormous amount of love coming through for you, that you haven't been left alone. And yeah, there's an outcome for something that's going to be good for you. So I'm hearing about keeping your faith and just taking one step at a time, one day at a time. And it sounds like that things can work out for you, honey. So just trust that they're with you, and that things can work out all right. And just really breathe that love in, darling. It feels like sometimes you don't even breathe, and the sense that I'm getting here is that you really need to be able to breathe in some love. Feel their love, breathe it in, and just know that you're supported and you're not being forgotten. So I hope that helps, darling. Okay. Ooh. Oh, and lots of love. Like, there's so much there that could be said, Shirley, but that's let's just leave that there. I hope that helps you. Thank you, darling. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go to Monica Ha, and she's asking for self-love and finding love. Please, can I have a reading? So Monica, I'm going to pull a love blocks card for you, and I'm just focusing on self-love, and let's just see what comes out of that, because usually what we need to focus on within ourselves will give us a little bit of an insight of what's going on with finding love. So this is for Monica Ha. Okay, darling, so the card you've got is overcome fear. If you can see that. Okay, and it just says accept and nurture your fear and move forward anyway. And like on the signpost, it talks about success and freedom. I actually feel like you're a really intelligent person. And sometimes I feel like you play yourself down a bit too much, and maybe there's a bit of a third chakra sort of confidence issue there. Could stem back to some father stuff there that you need to sort of deal with, honey. But generally, I feel that you're intelligent. You're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for, and it feels like there's times that you know that, and you're afraid of being too smart because perhaps that's isolated you in the past. But I just want to say to you, don't be afraid of your intelligence. Don't I feel like you're a quick thinker, quick-witted, and someone really needs to understand your sense of humor. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't start feeling like you're wrong or that you need to be something else. I feel like perhaps you just keep feeling like you need to be someone else, and maybe that you might be too much or too smart or something. But please don't change who you are. Like, the right man will love it and get it. But you just have to accept this part of yourself. You did at one stage, and I think you've just tried to tuck her away to fit in, or maybe feel like maybe you need to be more, pull yourself in and contract yourself a little bit more to find love, and it's exactly what you're not supposed to do. So, little bit of self-forgiveness, a little bit of self-forgiveness, and just really connecting back in with that part of yourself, that confident, I feel like you could be cheeky. I'm getting the word smart arsey type thing, like, just understand that part of yourself. Maybe remember not to be to keep it in balance. Don't go too overboard, to be too cocky or whatever, because sometimes that might put people off. So I think that's what you're trying to balance in within your personality, not to contract yourself and hide yourself too much, or when you let your sort of self totally go, maybe you sometimes might come across a little bit rude or too cocky or something. So don't go into shame about that. Just work with that and know the situations of how to manage your personality, because I think you have a strong personality. So just releasing the outcome, I think, is the best thing for you, and have fun with yourself and have fun getting to know yourself. And I think that you will go a lot further than what you feel. Okay, and never say never is what the word I'm hearing for you. So that was for Monica Ha. I hope that helps, darling. Okay, so let me just go back here to my screen. Okay, I just need to go up is what I'm being told. Okay, so I'm going to go to Susan Dalton, and she's in Victoria, sending you lots of love, darling. She'd like a spiritual card from her sister, if possible, or mum. Okay, so let's just see what comes through with the cards here. Yeah, so this is Susan Dalton. I'm going to write your name down because the messages move. Sister or mum. So just focusing on mum and your sister, darling, and just trusting that the right message for you is going to come through through these cards. I'm feeling anxiety. I'm feeling shortness of breath. And I'm starting to get really hot. So I'm not sure if that's how you're feeling or if that's them. But yeah, just feeling really sort of anxious. Okay, so this card just really sort of instantly stopped in my hand, and it says, we will assist you in helping the important people in your life. Use love. Okay, so I feel like perhaps you have a lot on your shoulders. Perhaps you're dealing with a lot of things, or being the one there for everybody else. And yes, and perhaps sometimes that this can be frustrating or overwhelming, okay, for you, darling. And I'm just getting that you're stronger than you think you are. Okay, you are stronger than you think you are. And just take a breath, find your center. You don't have to solve everything. You don't have to be everything for everyone. Just go to your heart. I just feel that if you can go to your heart and just have some loving compassion for yourself, you'll see everyone sort of in their own grief and panic and fear, and this can just help you, take things a little bit slower. and not feel like that you have to solve everything for everybody. Okay, so they're helping you. That's what it says. We will assist you, okay, in helping the important people in your life. And really, I feel like that's a key, is really deciding, who are your important people, who are the ones in your inner circle that you need to focus on first and foremost. And as a coach, I would say really go and, spend some time, sitting under a tree with your journal, just really sort of feeling into that. Well, who's in my inner circle? Who's my first and foremost priorities that I need to give most of my energy to? And then maybe who's in the next circle, just to help you get clear on how to plan your days in terms of what energy that you give where. I feel like you need to be a little bit more conscious there of what you're doing with your time and who you're giving your energy to. And I feel like once you've got clear on that, things will sort of settle down a bit for you. So I hope that helps, Susan. That was for Susan Dalton. Much love to you, darling. Oh, take a breath. Ooh. Okay. All right. So I am moving on to Lydia. I've got Lydia Hands, and she'd like a message around self-love. So I'm going back to my Unlock Your Love Blocks cards, and let's just see what's happening there. This is for Lydia. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling very similar energy tonight, and it's interesting. I've said this before, whether it's people that turn up to my workshops or in a program or in these readings, often you all have very similar energies and things in common. And again, I'm feeling this for you, the same as Monica, Lydia, just really strong mental mind, lots of intelligence there. Sometimes I feel like you may overanalyze things too much, overread things. When you're asking about self-love, I can again feel anxiety for you, and I feel like you might read into things too much. The card I got for you is love, and it's about unconditional love. So it's like this is about giving and receiving love, and it's really understanding the difference between conditional love and unconditional love. So unconditional love is when we are who we are and we're still loved by people regardless. Conditional love is when whether ourselves or other people will say, I'll love you as long as you do this, this and this, because if you don't do this and this and this, I'm actually going to take my love away from you. So I wonder, when it comes to self-love, like what rules are you putting in place on yourself to love and accept yourself? Do you feel like you have to be a certain look or have achieved a certain place in your career, or feel like that you need to be or have something before you'll really just surrender to yourself and love yourself and really just truly what's the word, just really sort of take pleasure in who you are, the good, the bad and the ugly. So my suggestion to you tonight, darling, is maybe just sit down with pen and paper and just sort of asking yourself, where am I putting conditions on myself to love and accept myself, and where am I putting conditions on others, to love them? And where is that happening for me in my life? Where are people cutting me off because I'm not being who they want me to be? Where is things being conditional? But we're talking about self-love, so it all starts with you. Where are you loving yourself unconditionally, and where are you not? And what is it that is not happening, or is there that you're not loving yourself unconditionally? So I feel like that will be a good place for you to start, darling, and really sort of seeing and understanding the difference between conditional and unconditional love. And I think that you're going to have some big ahas from that when you really actually sit and actually, not so much analyze it, but go to your heart. I see you going to your heart and breathing and surrendering all the things you know. You might know a lot of things, okay? You might know what you know, but what's actually going on? Yes, you might know this, and this, and what you should and shouldn't do, but what's actually happening for you? What are you feeling? You might know this, but that doesn't mean that's what's happening for you or that's what you're doing, okay? So it's going to take a bit of being honest with yourself, darling, okay? So see how you go with that. So that was for Lydia Hands. I actually feel like that might be a message for a few people tonight. It's a very, very interesting exercise to do. Okay, so thanks, Lydia. I'm sending you lots of love, darling. And of course, anyone that has a message tonight or has more questions tonight, you're welcome to message me. I either try to get back tonight or in the next day or two. I will get back to you as soon as I can. But, you know, if you want to know more or have any other questions, you're welcome to message me. So I'm going to Margaret Whip, and she is asking for a message from her hubby, Doug, and he's passed. So let's just put all our intention and our love into the messages from heaven cards, darling, and see what energies come through from Doug. So this is Margaret Whip, message from husband. And this is Doug. Ooh. So just using all your energy, darling, like not all your energy, but just putting your focus onto him and just, you know, telling him, you know, put your energy into these cards. Give me the right message through these cards. Work through this girl here. Okay. I felt a bit of grief when I first started tuning into you, but it just sort of has lifted now. And the message that's come through that says changes can bring new life and energy. We will hold your hand. And you know, darling, I often say this to my students in Unlock Your Love Blocks. You know, grief, you know, unprocessed grief that we haven't sort of that we're stuck in, blocks our heart chakra. And you know, the heart chakra really connects us to spirit. So when we're stuck in grief, you know, or loss, and it doesn't just have to be of a person, by the way. It can be the loss of a job, a friendship, you know, dearly loved land or property, anything. You know, like we have grief and loss, and often I say to my students, you know, when someone really important passes over in our life, often it is contracted, and it is really after a time of grieving and transitioning. It really is to shift us more into purpose. You know, there's for some reason been a contract between the two of you that knows that this is going to happen for the most part at some roundabout point. And I just love this card because it says changes can bring you new life and energy, and I feel like that is what he wants you to do now. I feel like he you know, there's a reason for this. I keep getting there's a reason for this, there's a reason for this, there's something that you need to do, there's something that you came here to do. And I feel like he's saying, I'm going to hold your hand to step into that next phase, to that next important step in your life. And you know, it's almost like I feel he can support you more from the other side, you know, for you to do this really important thing your soul wanted to do this lifetime. So darling, like I said, you know, often they pass for us to step into our purpose. You know, often there's reasons we've been in relationships. Sometimes it was just to experience love. Sometimes it was to learn things from each other. And then often they go because it's time for you to continue on your mission here. And I feel like you have something really strong in your soul that you want to do. Maybe that's working with kids or doing something for the children. I'm not sure, darling, but I just feel like a strong sense of confidence and trust coming through to you, and like you really have to do this, Margaret, this lifetime. And I don't even feel like he's gone anywhere. Like I feel like he's almost pushing you into the next phase of your life, and maybe into another relationship too. You know, maybe you know, you had a bit of time together, and the next relationship will actually step you further into the next part of your purpose. There's a reason for that. We can come in and experience different souls, whether they pass over or we, just split and go different ways. And each soul brings us a different energy and brings different things out of ourselves. And that's what I just feel needs to happen for you, darling. So, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there, but just know that he wants to hold your hand to step into the next phase, darling. So I hope that resonates, and just sending you lots and lots of love, sweetie. I couldn't imagine. It must be, really difficult, really, really difficult. So I acknowledge that, absolutely. Okay, my darling. So that was for Margaret Whip, sending you lots of love, honey. Lots of love. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to go to Jenna. Jenna Vost, hello, darling. So she's asking, love a message from Heaven card, please. Any messages from Nan-in-law or Dad? Yep, we can do that, sweetie. Nan-in-law or Dad. As much as I feel like Nan-in-law's here, and I feel for the most part the Nan energy, and this is very common, the Nan energy is connecting to the children in your family. It just feels like that's her part. That's her part in her life now, is to make sure that they're safe and they're happy. I feel like the energy coming into this card is going to be a message from your dad, darling. Okay, and this is it. All right, so this is for Jenna. It says, someone needs your support. Can you help them? We will guide you. Okay, so you need to think about who that might be, who it is that you need to support. It's interesting that Nan was talking about the kids, so maybe there might be something there. Let me just tune in a little bit more. I just feel like it's a male that needs your support, or there needs to be some communication clearing with a male in your life, okay? Because I just feel perhaps that things haven't been said that needed to be said. This is someone close to you, so you need to just trust your instincts and who that is, because I'm just getting about communication issues, clear communication. And I'm getting like perhaps things have been misconstrued or not understood properly, and to perhaps go back and have a conversation again. So you really have to trust your instincts here and who that is, but it feels important to Dad, okay? So whether this is a partner or a brother, maybe, that there's something that needs to be done in terms of communication, honey. So I'm just going to leave it at that and leave that with you, and hopefully that gives you some insight. And yeah, like I said, if you really do need any more, give me a message, and I'll see if there's anything else that I can pick up. But for the most part, when I do psychic, I've just got to give to you and leave it for you guys and girls to work out what that means. So I hope that helps, Jenna. You know where I am, honey, if you need me. Thanks for being here, love. Thank you. Yeah. Whew, there's still a little bit more there too, but leave that with you for now. Okay. Okay, let's see where else that we're going. Okay, so I'm going to go to Luana Martin. My darling, is he with me? Okay, let's just see what comes out in the card, Luana. So we got Luana Martin. Hokianga. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. And let's just see what card comes, honey. I don't know whether I just get cars around here. I don't know whether it was a car accident or car enthusiast. I'm getting like a pain in my toe as well, which is strange. It's sometimes weird things that I feel. But let's just put the energy into the card for the right message from your darling to come through for you, Luana. May have been it, but we're just going to keep shuffling. I feel like there's been lots to say here. Oh, and the message is we have fun and you too must enjoy yourself. So I feel like there's some tension or some worry or stress from you, and even questions about what happens on the other side. What happens? Do they go into nothing or do they live a life? I feel like you have a lot of questions about the afterlife and, what happens there. I really feel like you can have your own connection with the other side, um, and really start to have some fun with this, but and finding what you want to have fun with. Like your darling one's saying, I'm okay. Like there just feels like a lightness in energy here, and it's like with all respect, they sort of life does continue. I guess that's up to everybody's beliefs, but I think if everybody's here on the spiritual events directory, for most part, we believe that we continue on after the physical realm and in all sorts of ways and dimensions or heaven or whatever you want to believe in. Life does go on and the learning goes on and the experience goes on in different ways and forms. So the message from your darling one is like, I am, my life continues, my energy, my spirit continues, and I certainly don't want you like to stop. Like you haven't died, you're not dead. Like you need to pick yourself up, sweetie, and you need to find something that you need to bring that happy laughter and that playfulness out again. There's a part of you that has died, really, okay, and you need to bring her back and you need to find something that can bring you back to life, okay? And maybe it's the ocean. The ocean is in this picture with a like a canoe, a kayak thing. So maybe it's some movement on or in the ocean, but just something to bring you back and get you on your right path. I feel like, again, like I said to the other lady, when we have these losses, no matter how long they were in our life, it is really meant to wake us up, to wake us up to a different level and to point us in the right direction, to point us in a different path. So sometimes we need massive wake-up calls to do that. And yes, it's time for you. It is time for you, Luana, to come back to life, honey, and start sort of meeting and mingling with the right people again. I know it's a bit tough at the moment depending where you are in the world, but it's time to do some things that bring you joy, honey. Even if it's just at home at first, maybe watching some comedy, but something to bring you back and just to know that you do not have to suffer, you do not have to blame yourself or feel guilty for being alive, okay, and your darling one not here. It's really, really important that you, I'm even getting forgive yourself, okay, and it's time for you to move on. You don't have to suffer and you don't have to, um, you know, stop, okay, because of what's happened here. So I hope that helps you, darling. Sending you lots of love and thank you for being here. So that was for Luana Martin. Thank you, darling. Okay. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Margaret. That's exactly right, honey. It did feel like that. It just to take to really commit to that new relationship and move forward, that's exactly what needed to happen. Oh, sweetie, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that's already met and found. So any kind of holdbacks or guilt or anything you were feeling, it's just, it's just to say you're free, like go for it. You needed that different energy to go on this next path. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Margaret. Thanks, darling, for giving me that feedback. Okay, I'm going to go to Diana DeLuca. I mean, what a such an important question that so many people sit with, especially when we have committed, invested really so much time into someone in a relationship. So Diana says, I wasted my time being with someone for 10 years and he can't or won't commit. Let's Lots I could say around that. Let me just see. Yeah, first of all, I want to say we never waste our time, especially if we can learn what we need to learn for ourselves. Like, what is the pattern here for you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, do you attract people that don't want to fully give themselves? Is that safe for you? I also feel for you that you have been growing a lot. I feel like you actually have changed and grown a lot in this relationship. So even though maybe you've got to 10 years and the relationship isn't where you want it to be, I definitely feel like you've changed, Diana. I know within ourselves we have a lot of we have masculine and feminine energies, and it feels to me that there's this relationship has brought up a lot of the wounded masculine within you. Perhaps it's not fully healed yet, but I think it can be just through recognizing I've got to where I needed to go here, and it hasn't been a waste of time. Like, yes, it's 10 years I've been with this person, and maybe it has been a waste of time, but I guess for you, it depends what you want out of a relationship and what you want out of life. Sometimes we think our relationships are not all they want to be, but what do we actually want out of relationship? Are we expecting someone to make us happy? Like, unless it's an abusive relationship, I think first and foremost we need to understand and know, well, what is it that I actually want to experience out of a relationship? Because maybe with what I want is right under my nose. Maybe with how he is actually what really works for you. And if you were with a different type of person, you actually would think, oh shit, actually, that actually really did work for me, how he was. Just what I'm feeling for you. I mean, you have to make these decisions for yourself. But the Unlock Your Love Blocks card that you got is commitment. That's me and my husband, everyone. That was a long time ago. A little bit skinnier there. Over 10 years ago. So the card that you've got, darling Diana, is commitment. And it says, a great relationship is created over time. Do you know, like, I've been with my husband for maybe 17 years or so now. And, you know, um, it's probably only the last 2 years that have shifted, but for so long I felt like we're just beginning. So like the first 15 years is like we're just still I kind of lose track of time. I'm a bit like that anyway. I forget how old I am and things like that. But and I only recently consciously thought about how long we've been together, and I still keep feeling like, oh, we've just been together for 10 years. Like every year, oh, we've been together 10 years, we've been together 10 years. My point is that, sometimes it could take a good 10 or 15 years to really sort of, one, we need to do a lot of growing and changing ourselves, and being with our partners can do that. And then it's sort of, we get to the point where we've had a lot of growth, and of course then we need to decide, okay, is it time for me to move on, or do we take this relationship to the next step? My sense is for you, is it that maybe he has a different this is what's coming through, like maybe he has a different understanding or meaning around what commitment is. Do you know what I mean? Like what he believes is commitment might be different for you. So I just feel like you need to get on the same page there, because maybe he just thinks what he's doing and what he offers you, that he is committing to you. So I just feel like there's a need for some communication there, and it's really important when we're communicating not to go in and saying, you make me feel like this, or you do this. If we go in on the attack and make it about the other person, instantly they will get on the defensive. I mean, I would be like that. My husband comes at me and says, me, you know, I'm this. I'm like, whoa, you know, fuck you. Like, we get defensive. So it's really about being smart about our communication and saying, hey, you know, I really need to talk to you if you don't mind. I'm feeling these feelings. I feel like this. I feel like that. And really sort of sharing where you're coming from your own space, being responsible for your own feelings. This is how I'm feeling here. You know, what are you feeling about this? Do you having this? I'm just having a different approach and seeing if perhaps you want the same things, but you just have different meanings around it. Okay, so I just feel like before you're making a decision here, Diana, um, I just feel like you need to sort of perhaps change your approach and have a conversation because I just don't feel like he doesn't love you or doesn't want to be with you. So and as this card says, a great relationship is created over time. So it's really a journey together, and it doesn't mean that it's perfect some or most of the time, but we're constantly learning and growing. So you know, if that's what you're here to experience, to learn and grow, and make sure you're being responsible for yourself and your own happiness and not putting that responsibility onto him and vice versa. You know, once we take responsibility for ourselves and our own happiness, there is a possibility to work this out. So I guess it's really going to be your guys' capacity to do that and to hang in for that. And look, I know some people just get to the point and go, nah, it is too bloody hard, and that is fair enough. And I think you know deep down inside of yourself when it's done. Okay, but just be clear, darling. You know, well, what is relationship about? What it's a journey with somebody. You know, what do you want from that journey? You know, just sort of get a little bit clear. Remembering no matter who you're with, especially if we're not taking responsibility for ourselves and working through our own stuff, we are an energetic being. We're usually going to attract, you know, similar sort of experiences and energies. It might not look like that at first, but it'll certainly come out eventually. So I just feel like you got a few things to think about that there, Diana. And like I've said, reach out if you need, because I can certainly do a little bit of work there with each other and help you get clear. So I hope that helps, honey, and hope that helps a few people out there. It's certainly a tough place to be, but first and foremost, I want to say no time is wasted. As long as you can see the journey, and like I said from the beginning, I feel like you've grown a lot here. So maybe even just go and reflect, like, what have I learned, and how have I grown in this relationship? You know, so and go and acknowledge yourself for that, okay, and then take it from there. Okay, so that was for Diane DeLuca. Hope that helps, honey. Thanks for being here. Okay, so I'm just sort of moving along, seeing where I'm sort of being pulled to now. Hey, Kath. No worries, Jenna. Thank you, darling. Okay, so I'm going to Melinda Thompson. Let me just write your name down, darling. Would love a message from my beautiful husband, Mikhail, or my gorgeous dad, who I lost 10 days apart. Oh, 5 years ago, honey, geez. 10 days apart 5 years ago. What a tough ride, honey. No wonder I was drawn to you. Okay, so Mikhail. Ooh, it feels like they're close. I can feel energies really close. I feel like they've got each other. The vision I've got, they're sort of like not like right close to each other, but the vision I've got is they're about this far apart, but there's a mutual respect and a patting on sort of each other's back. Mikhail and Dad. So I'm just going to sort of focus the energy into these cards, Melinda, and let's just see what message they come out. I definitely feel like they're both here together. There seems to be an emphasis on one not being more important than the other. They're both here together. I feel like even in spirit, you know, and the universe is infinite. And you know, like we were saying before, when we pass over, you know, our energy, our essence, I believe, carries on in all sorts of different ways and realms. And I feel like where they've gone, in the last 5 years in our time has been in different places. But when it comes to you and when they come back in, there's certainly a mutual respect for each other. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is interesting because this card came out earlier for one of the other ladies from someone in heaven, and it says, we have fun and you too must enjoy yourself. I really feel like, like I was saying, I feel both of them, wherever they go in the different dimensions and whatever happens in the afterlife, I feel like they've been on their own different paths, and they've sort of moved forward with their soul's journey. That doesn't mean that they've forgotten you, or earth, or anyone on earth. Of course they don't. um, but it just really feels like, it's time for you. I'm getting something around a home or a change of place, or a change of where you're living. I'm getting like it's high time. It's high time perhaps to make a move. So I don't know if that resonates, but that's just a feeling I get. Um, and I don't know if there is a child, but it feels like there's a younger energy that they're focusing on. It's almost like they're looking at everyone, they see everyone. I feel like your husband wants to, I feel like he's talking about a watch, and I feel like he does things around your home, or particular things that you might notice move or something. I feel like that's him. I actually feel like he's very much still involved in your life. And it feels like his family, he really wants to give his love to his family. You are first and foremost, but he's talking about an extended family. So I just feel like that's really important for him. Dad seems to be talking about your mum and focusing on your mum. And there's just a lot of love there and respect. I'm getting the word respect, respect, respect. um, yeah. Lots there, lots to say, but there's a real pride energy coming from this energy. I feel as your dad, talking about schooling or scholarship or some kind of academia or education. So there's a lot of pride there. So I'm not sure if that's who he was or that's what you're doing, or both. But just acknowledged, he seems like a real adventurer. That I feel like he's been off adventuring around the universe. He keeps himself quite busy, is my sense. He seems like a really smart man, actually. And yeah, he's exploring. Explorer is the word that I'm getting. Explorer. Lots of love to you and lots of respect. Be kind to yourself. Taking each day as it comes. Just really sort of acknowledging your softness and your gentleness, and that's a real gift. And I actually just feel like they're going to be, they want to come through, and I feel like they're going to hang around for a few days. Maybe they've been around for the last however long recently, but I feel like they're going to be around for a little bit longer. Often I feel them sort of go, and then they're sort of around. I know recently I had an ex come through who passed away long ago and just popped in when I was cleaning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, hello, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh my god, I got family in Melbourne, which I didn't know because I dated him a very long time ago. So like there's lots of spirits in and out right now, and I just feel like they're going to be around, and I feel like they want to gift you something. So whether that's to do with this, with a move or a home, or providing you with some resources, maybe luck or connections, I'm not sure, but I just feel like I feel like they're really solid in how they support you, darling. So I want you to know you're really, really looked after, and everything's planned for you and set, so you're all okay. So I hope that makes sense. And just know, just know that your life. They're just getting your life is going to be okay. You're going to be okay, and things will get better. So I hope that helps, darling. Sending you lots of love. That's for Melinda Thompson. All the best, darling. Ooh, little darling, husband and dad in 10 days apart of death. It's big. It's big. All right, I'm going to Karen Cordill. Let me flip my page here. So Karen's saying that she's been in her relationship for almost 9 years, and she says it's going nowhere. So let's just see what comes through for Karen, darling. Going nowhere. Darling, I'd love to know what you're doing with your, in terms of with your career and what you're doing with yourself. There was an earlier lady who I felt was really underestimating herself. Might have even been the first lady I read for. Very similar energy to Monica. Yeah, I think you really underestimate yourself, darling, and I'm not sure that you're being all that you can be in your career, and I feel the stagnation. So look, this might be manifesting and it might be in the relationship, no doubt about that, but I also feel within yourself there's a move that needs to be made. It feels a little bit maybe tricky or complicated, I'm getting. So I'm just, the card that you got actually fell out for you, and it says ask for help. Okay, I feel like you might be fiercely independent and strong, and that you feel like you have to do things for yourself. But I feel like you've got to a point in your life where you really need to learn how to receive and how to be supported. And this card's saying to seek the wisdom from a mentor. Okay, so I just can't help feeling that you need to know who your supporters are, know who can help you and guide you through. My sense is working, and this is the thing with love blocks, I say all the time, our purpose and our love lives can be so connected, the energy of it, because it's all heart based. The work that we do in the world comes from our heart, our relationships are from our heart, it's all connected. And often that people feeling lost or stagnant in their relationship because they're not doing what they want to do for work or purpose, and often when they get on that path and things sort of start to sort of shift in the relationship too, okay, because there's this energy being released, there's loves being released, and things change in the relationship. Not always. Sometimes people start on their path of purpose and they realize this relationship is dead in the water and it's time to move on. It's served its purpose. um, um, Look, I don't want to say yay or nay for you of it served its purpose or not. If you were to put me on the spot and say what more percentage than the other, I would say, you know what, probably. I feel like you're really sort of miserable and really sad, but I wouldn't make a decision just yet until you make a decision about maybe what you have. I just want you to have some sort of vision. I just feel like when you're planning your next step in life, including whether you leave this relationship or not, I want you to have in there what you want to do. What's your soul's purpose here? How do you want to serve the world or animals or spirit or children or the earth? Like, I don't know, technology or innovation. There's so many things that we can do in this world that serves, that has a purpose, whatever industry it is. I just feel like you really need to sort of get in touch with that within yourself, and I feel like you'll be stronger then. I just feel like you'll sort of ignite and you will feel more motivated and stronger to take the next step and to make this move. I feel like you need to know what you're sort of moving forward towards. You need to even have a purpose, to move forward into purpose, if that makes sense. So, Karen, I do feel that you feel quite hopeless, maybe even depressed, darling. I hope you don't mind me sharing that here. I tried to really sort of limit what I say in the public forums, but I do feel like you're really down, darling. And often when we feel that way is because we feel hopeless, like we're not in control. We don't know what to do. Okay, so this is about you setting some goals, perhaps, but it's more than that. Before that, you need to be inspired again. You need to have a vision. You need to just say, what if I can decide that I want to do this, And that's my ultimate goal, and I'll work out the steps along the way. I'll work out how to get there. That's where you need to ask for help, okay? Because I really feel like you're going to need to be supported every step of the way, and you need someone that can help you keep believing in yourself, and believing that you can change your life around, okay? I really feel that you need that right now, because you have a really strong mind, and it might keep going back to, I know it's too hard, or you make excuses up. Okay, you're a really smart woman, you're a really strong woman, but you can be your own worst enemy in your mind. So you need someone that's going to hold you really strong and keep you on track, but in a sort of inspired, maybe spiritual, big hearted way. Okay, darling. So it's time for you to make a decision. There's no doubt about that. But don't just make a decision about the relationship. Make a decision about who you are and who you want to be, and let yourself believe in that again. Let yourself believe in that, in possibilities again. Sending you lots and lots of love, darling. I know it's tough, I know it's hard, but one step at a time. Don't expect things to change in a day or a week or a year. It's just a step by step process, and it takes time. And then all of a sudden, your life's changed. Okay, but you do need support, and you do need to engage someone to help you through that. So I hope that helps, honey. Okay, I'm sending you lots of love. So that was for Karen Caudle. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so there's a couple of standing out to me here, and I'm starting to get really dizzy. I need to stop with Alicia. Alicia McGuinness. Let's just go here. Okay, so Alicia's asking for a love blocks card around self love. All right, let's see what comes through, darling. Ooh. Lots of breathing. Salt air, salt water. Remember that, especially now. We just need to keep our energy fields as clean as we can. Be kind to ourselves, nurturing to ourselves. Breathe. Remember who we are. All right, here we go, Alicia. Interesting. So the card that you've got, darling, is past lovers, and it's saying be grateful for the lessons and move on. You can see that. So it's interesting, about self-love, and the past lovers card comes up. Sometimes people are not surprised with this card. Other times people are like, "Oh, what? Really? I haven't really sort of thought about that." And then when they go into, or if I go into their energy field and I bring up some kind of feeling or emotion, and I do like a time track and travel, and I take it back to a certain age, certain things come up. And sometimes it doesn't even have to have been a proper girlfriend or boyfriend, especially in the teenage years, or any years really, but a lot comes up in teenage years. It could be just a girl or a boy that we liked, that we had an interesting experience with. Alicia, straight up, I am taken to the 13th year, when you were 13, first and foremost. I think there's a couple of other years, but around 13, 14. So my sense is, darling, to take yourself back to your 13 or 14-year-old self. And, if you can't pinpoint anyone specifically in terms of love there, just sort of go back and see what was happening for you in your life there, what you were observing with either the relationship of the adults around you, or with what was happening with girls and boys that were your friends. Okay, there's something there for you that that could be the beginning of distorting a perception that you have about yourself, a story. Okay, and often we have these stories playing and we don't even know that they're playing in there. Okay, so my darling, that is where I would take yourself. Just have a journal, a pen, have an intention. I want to connect with my 13 and 14 years old self, let go of any expectations or of what it should be. Couple of deep breaths, and even write on the piece of paper, I'd like to connect with my 13-year-old self, and just take a few breaths and just ask her, to come forward inside. And then you could just ask a question, what do you want to tell me? Is there anything that you really need to talk to me about today? And just trust what memories or thoughts or feelings come up and take it from there, darling. um, I've just noticed the time, but I hope that helps, darling. Like, doing that kind of work can be really powerful. It could be the start of a lot of self exploring. We do a lot of that with every chakra through every year of our life in Unlock Your Love Block. So maybe that's something that you could consider doing if you feel called, or if you have any questions, please let me know. Same with anybody. If anyone wants to know any more, please send me some information. I hate that I can't get through everybody, but I'm here for an hour. And if anyone really sort of feels drawn to me, has any questions about anything I talk about tonight or about working with me, you can message me, whether it's here at Sarah's page, Spiritual Events Directory, or I'm over at Rebecca-Lee, Awaken the Spirit Within. So thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate you coming here. I love doing this work. It's humbling and it's honoring, and it's important. And I thank you all for holding the space for each other and just having a beautiful energy here and taking in whatever resonates with you, whether it was a message for you or not. Please take that into your heart tonight. So thank you all so much. I have to hop off now and let the next person come on. So I really appreciate you being here. And I'm here every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Thanks very much, everybody. See ya.